Do you think insurance companies want you to hire an attorney? Why do you think they hire celebrities for their commercials? Do they hire them to gain your trust? Don't be fooled. Insurance companies want to pay you as little as possible, and it's my job to maximize your recovery and make sure you don't get ripped off. If you've been injured, call me, Matt Hoffman, or Justin Watkins at Battleborn Injury Lawyers, 570-9000. That's 570-9000.
Excitement is coming full circle. The Golden Circle Sports Bar is now open at TI. It's your go-to hotspot for 19 frosty beers on tap, shots and cocktails, nosh-worthy snacks like Eero Bites, Korean tacos, and bacon cheddar poutine tater cakes, and $3 drafts during our hockey team's away games. Great food, cold beer, good times. It's a bar scene with 360-degree action. The Golden Circle at TI. Beer, bets, and bites. With free parking on the Strip, always.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Mayweather Promotions presents Sin City Showdown this Friday at Sam's Town Live as Ladarius Miller and Ricardo Garcia face off in the main event, and Xavier Martinez versus Arturo Santos Reyes in the co-main. Also featuring a stacked undercard. Get your tickets at samstownlv.com or receive a complimentary ticket when you bring a minimum of 3 of these items: socks, beanies, scarves, or gloves. It's Sin City Showdown this Friday at Sam's Town Live. Visit mayweatherpromotions.com/events for details.
Okay, here's the deal. You're a freelancer, a hired hand, a self-made, self-owned business of one. Whether you're a contractor, creative director, or consultant, you're the boss. And that makes things easy. Unless, of course, you're trying to get a mortgage. When it comes to qualifying for a cash-out refi, gig economy workers come with more obstacles, more complexities, and more stress, right? Wrong. Dial 855-875-CASH, and one of our cash-out mortgage specialists will help you qualify for the lowest interest loan possible, regardless of your source of income. It's the easiest call you'll make all day. That's 855-875-CASH. Make the cash call today. First Mortgages, Impact Mortgage Group, DBA Cash Call Mortgage, 19500 Jamboree Road, Irvine, California, 92612, NMLS 128231. Equal housing lender, not licensed in all states, including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. Again, that's 855-875-CASH. Make the cash call today.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. The holidays are by far my favorite time of year. It's a great time to spend with family and friends. Unfortunately, accidents do happen, so if you have been hurt, call me at 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com. Happy holidays. Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Hello, friends. This is Thomas Johnson from Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab. Need a great idea for lunch or dinner? Your best bet is Joe's, one of the most popular dining destinations on the Strip. Joe's provides the ideal setting for private parties with accommodations for up to 150 guests. Stop by to see us at the Forum Shops at Caesars and ask for Thomas Johnson, your maitre d'.
Cutty Covers is here. Ari Platinum is handling things on the other side of the console. We thank the always popular Aaron Kesler for joining us from the Golden Nugget, sitting in for Tony Miller this week. I'm Dave Cokin. We'll have Kelly Stewart momentarily. Our Joe's Angle of the Day brought to you by Joe's, located at the Forum Shops at Caesars Palace. The perfect gift card for Christmas. None better that I can think of. 702. No, you're not getting one from me, Ari. He's guys literally. I'm not making this up. He's pointing to himself like, I'll have one of those. Yeah. No chance. Okay. 702-792-9222 is the phone number to make reservations, or if you'd like to purchase a gift card, you can do so calling that number. Now, I just briefly looked at what Ralph Michael sent us today. Was this like 3 systems on the same game?
Well, yeah, 2 systems and 1 fact.
Okay.
All right. System number 1, the Pistons 10-3 against the spread their last 13, 6-1 against the spread at home.
Okay.
Number 2, the 76ers 3-12 against the spread on the road. So Pistons are winning covering numbers at home. Good. Sixers are not covering on the road. And by the way, the fact, it's the first game this season that Joel Embiid is resting. The Sixers were not a bet-on team without Embiid last year.
Good for them. So. He's, Embiid by this time of the season usually it has like 8 games off. Mm-hmm. So he's playing every game and staying healthier this year, and that's a good thing. I would hope that this is going to be I hope it's a league-wide trend where they cut back on the number of rest days superstars have. It's just totally unfair to the fans.
They won't.
Well,
and this is still one.
I can hope anyway.
You know, it's not a second night of back-to-backs. It's just he's just resting. But all the angles, of course, pointing towards betting number 502, the Detroit Pistons -1.5 at home against the Sixers.
Kelly in Vegas is her Twitter handle. Kelly Stewart's her name. She joins us right now. Kelly, I saw you getting upset about Kansas State. Apparently some fans that you're not happy with of the Wildcats who think they're going to get, like Nick Saban or something as the head coach, and you are begging to differ.
Of course. I think, I'm at that weird age, right? So I'm in my 30s where I don't have a childhood memory of Kansas State being a bad football program. So you have the people that are my parents.
Ron Price?
Oh, don't. Now she's good. Don't swear.
Ron Prince was a terrible. Ron Prince was a terrible stretch, but it was not 1970s. It was not 1960s.
Oh, right. Where this team was just
where
it was just a hopeless program back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And so you have people that are my age that are entitled, spoiled brats, just generationally. Plus, you insert Bill Snyder, who said, listen, for a vast majority of your childhood, we're going to win at least 9 games, if not more. We're going to go to a bowl game every single year. And now those days are kind of gone. He decided he was going to retire, whether he actually retired or not. That's a whole other story. But, yeah, you get on Twitter, and it's like everybody knows something. Oh, we're going to get Seth Littrell. Oh, we want Brent Venables. Oh, we want Jim Leavitt. Well, you guys, that requires a lot for these guys to leave their big-name programs. Well, obviously Seth Littrell, not a big-name program, but kind of being talked about if Lincoln Riley leaves, that he may get the head coach job at OU. So why would he want to go to Manhattan, Kansas? There's a lot of rumors going around and craziness, but I think bottom line is their expectation level of who's going to come to Manhattan, Kansas and be able to be successful is not likely.
So, and I'm not joking around when I say this, is there a concern among some more lucid Kansas State fans like yourself that, Kansas, which is the arch rival, they just got a really big name, and they're going to get better. I'm not saying they're going to win the Big 12 or anything like that, but Les Miles will make them a better program than they've been. Is there any concern that Kansas State could get bypassed by the Jayhawks if they don't get a good hire?
So many people thought K-State was going to lose to KU this year in football. I remember right after the Oklahoma game, oh, my God, we're going to lose to KU. We're going to lose to KU. I'm like, calm down, everyone. We're still going to be at least a touchdown favorite at home. That being said, they didn't cover. It was really it was a really bad season overall. And then to see people who wanted coordinators out, such as myself, one of them went to be the head coach of UTEP. And obviously, it's going to take some time for him to do anything down there, but did not have a successful season. And I just didn't think that Snyder promoted well from within. And he's always done that. That's why he was forced to retire the first time. He does not go out there and get big-name guys to put under his system. He keeps his family close, and he keeps them closer. And even if they screw up and they don't do a good job, he still promotes them. I remember one of my best friend's dad was offensive coordinator growing up. And when he left and went to Kentucky, what did Bill do? He promoted his graduate assistant. What? No. When you are a top-tier program, you out and get a replacement offensive coordinator. You don't just promote within, and once you do that 5, 6, 7, 8 times, you start to see what happened this year. And that's exactly what's happened at Kansas State.
So what do you make of the fact that the reports are saying that Seth Littrell turned down the Kansas State job, that he didn't want it?
He did. He absolutely turned it down. It sounds like from his quote was that he wanted to clean house, as does 90% of new head coaches. It's very rare that you keep, and this is just speculation, but I'm guessing the person that was supposed to be kept on staff was Sean Snyder, Bill Snyder's son. Obviously, nothing of that's been said in the media other than speculation. But who else are you trying to keep on staff? I mean, I would say 80% of these K-State coaches could go out and get another Division I job. We have 3 or 4 guys that played in the NFL. They were all coordinators this last year, or linebacker coaches. Andre Coleman, great offensive coordinator. I know for a fact he can get a job. Colin Klein, former K-State quarterback, was a co-offensive coordinator. Why? Don't get me started on that. But he could still go get a quarterback job in this country, for sure. That being said, the only thing I can speculate is that Bill Snyder said, listen, I want to keep Sean Snyder here in Manhattan. If you force me to retire, I want to have say in who's going to be the next head coach. And Littrell said, no, I'm bringing my guys with. I'm sorry. And not being able to immediately, as a head coach, be able to make your own decisions because you're still answering to a former head coach, those two things usually don't line up for people with egos.
Come on, Dave. Don't get Kelly started.
All I'm going to say is it's 2018. They're in the Big 12, which is a quarterback-laden conference. They need to get somebody who can recruit a quarterback.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that because their quarterback play
is
the
we just
reason they
lost
become
our backup
ordinary.
quarterback.
Yeah.
He's transferring to UTEP, so there you go.
Yeah.
Now what do? We get some kid from Western Kansas again and hope that he can turn into a Colin Klein? It's not likely.
Those stories don't happen all the time. All right, let's look ahead to New Year's Day, college bowl games. We'll look at the playoffs as well. What are you hearing as far as the New Year's Day games are concerned? Well, we'll throw one out there right off the bat, which is the Rose Bowl. I mean, is there anybody left on the planet who's not betting on Urban Meyer in Ohio State and his farewell? I mean, it's just crazy the way this line's moving now.
It is crazy, but I mean, that's something you have to think about here is whether or not. I mean, do I think Urban Meyer is going to lose this game? No. But, God, I mean, we talked about this in the Wager Talk videos this week. Washington was the play for several handicappers until he made that announcement. I think Haskins is going to match up well against this Washington defense, but, man, they sure played a great defensive performance against Utah. They looked absolutely incredible. So I'm excited to watch this game. If it gets high enough, I might have to just be on Washington.
The SEC will be on television quite liberally on New Year's Day. Mississippi State playing Iowa in the Outback Bowl. Kentucky underdogs against Penn State in the Citrus Bowl. LSU laying points to UCF in the Fiesta Bowl. And, of course,
that's going to be a high-volume game.
Texas and Georgia to close out the night in the Sugar Bowl. What are you seeing in terms of the SEC teams and the action on some of these games on New Year's Day?
You know, I can see why people want to play Georgia. I initially was looking toward Georgia. I did not think that Texas was back for any better part of the season. But, you know, people are going to make a lot of Tom Herman's record as an underdog. And I think that that's exactly what we're going to see here is people come in on Texas as they did all season, hoping that Tom Herman steps up because he's been able to do so many times prior.
Well, and the thing of it is, I think you're going to get bettors who also look at this and say, is Georgia going to be this year's version of Auburn? A team that, you know, wanted to be in the playoffs last year, got thumped in the SEC title game, and just never showed up for the game against UCF. And, I mean, Georgia's off a tougher loss. I mean, they had that game won, and if they don't miss a field goal, they probably do win the game because I don't think Alabama comes back from 17 down. Kirby Smart's done a great job with them, but, Kelly, this is going to be a real challenge to get this team prepared to play. It's not that Texas isn't a name program, but it's just not. It's not the team Georgia wants to be playing.
Well, no, it's not the team they want to be playing, and you have to think about that as far as like a motivation factor goes too. How do you pick yourself up after such a disappointing loss? They wanted to win that game. They had a really good shot at winning that game. Also being said, Georgia's 6-0 in their last 6 bowl games. So there's a lot of games to consider. I know you messaged me earlier and you said, Cal, have you played any bowl games yet? And I haven't. This is just a time where I just kind of hang back and watch, see where the markets move, and really spend some time on these bowl games because between now and the next 3 weeks, kids get in trouble. They get arrested. They don't make grades. And certain players, they just don't matter. Certain players, it really matters. So I always like to kind of hang back and just kind of see it. And, again, maybe read some of the papers in Athens or read some of the papers in Austin. See how the motivation factor is going to be here for either one of these teams.
And one more. I want to throw this one out there because it's it really is, to me, maybe the most fascinating of the bowls, and that's the LSU Central Florida game. Look, we know Central Florida is coming in with maybe the biggest chip on their shoulder yet because they just keep winning these games, and they lost their quarterback.
And now the SEC commission is saying just nonsense. Oh, yeah, change your schedule up. Yeah, good luck. Play us home and home.
Yeah.
You know? Nobody in the SEC will play with them home and home.
And LSU.
Also true.
LSU is like, I know Orgeron's really good at motivating the team, but he's got a challenge motivating them to play UCF. I think I'm not saying it's going to be the same thing as last year's Auburn game, but it wouldn't shock me.
I think it's going to be a good game. This is my question, and this is the question I had versus Memphis. And Memphis looked like they were going to win that game for basically the entire game. And so I was in no sweat.